Ego. What up, people? We finna show y'all the intro. We live.
I'm gonna knock these stickers off.
What up, people? We live. Welcome to Heroes No Capes, episode, I think 9? 9. We on 9. What up, people? Ego.
Yes, sir.
All right, look. If y'all don't know us, I am the abomination known as AJ. Okay, welcome to the channel. This is our podcast. We try to do this thing weekly. Things happen, but it's all in the name of evolving and bettering our content for y'all. All right, this is my man's Ego. Ego, what's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I heard you had some trailer to show me, and you're giggling like a schoolgirl, making a Home Alone face, because you know how I feel about my DC properties. What is it?
All right, look, bros. We ain't got to get into that right now. I'm just...
Okay.
Just know, okay, that DC has just taken another dump. All right? And then this one is just... this time they shat, and then they just did this. And then they said, now go sit down and watch it. That's what they did. So I'm gonna pull that up. All right, while we talking to the people, we continue our conversation. We talking about people right now. We talking about Disney's missed opportunities. Okay, Disney has just taken or bought a whole bunch of companies. All right, I'm just gonna say it like that. Companies that we loved, were near and dear to us, and they're just completely fucking them. Okay, not only the properties that they have bought, Disney is fucking disavowing itself from the shit that it created itself. Disney is like right now in the process of just capitalizing off everything that you know and love, but giving you versions of that ain't got shit to do with what came before. It's weird. Because they standing on a gold mine and they just, I don't know what they doing. I don't know who's in control. That's why I feel like, bro, it's just like some agenda. There has to be an agenda for you to sacrifice all of this money out there to push a narrative. To push a fucking narrative. We can't get good content. People, I'm watching Hulk and the Agents of Smash right now. Okay? I'm watching a fucking team. Ego, I'm sorry to just be talking.
No, go ahead,
you can have it. I'm going to say my piece and then I'm going to let you have it. But I'm watching a fucking cartoon made by Disney. Okay? And this was during the early phases, like 1 and 2 of the MCU. So this is when it started out on a good foot, you know what I'm saying, doing right by the fans. But I'm watching Hulk and the Agents of Smash, a fucking cartoon giving us a story about the Gamma Warriors. So this She-Hulk that people want to say people hate because it's female led, they giving me a cold, badass She-Hulk right next to her cousin, fucking Hulk. And they smashing. They ain't clinking wine glasses, okay? They clinking fists like, what's up, cuz? We about to handle them. We about to put in this Gamma work, okay? A-Bomb on there. Red Hulk, okay? Scar. Hulk's son. A character that we could have seen, okay, if we would have done the Planet Hulk storyline instead of that Thor Ragnarok bullshit. We could have seen all of this. Cartoons always do it better, and that's why I never really gave a fuck about live action. I was there to see the attempt that the you know what I'm saying, MCU was making, and they had a good attempt. They came out strong. Like I said, they came out swinging, and the fans was like, okay, let's see this. Iron Man and Captain America. They had a fan base, but they were not like Spider-Man. They was not like X-Men. They was not. People was interested in this character, and I go into a comic book shop and I see Ironheart and Sam Wilson. All right, bro. That's it. Until I go off again. Yeah, man. Right. You got it. What was we talking about? So yeah, missed opportunities for the MCU, man. Just talk to me. What's your perspective on Disney and the things that they own and how they handle it?
It's really disappointing because there are opportunities that they had where they had a really good start, and again, they were so ahead of DC in terms of their live action, not even remakes, or live action adaptations of characters they really hadn't used. So, you know, Daredevil, from what I can recall, never really had his own TV series. He had the movie with Ben Affleck, which just poor execution, you know. But I was talking with one of my friends about it, and he was saying the way to introduce all of your street level Marvel characters, like your Jessica Jones, like your Luke Cage, like your Elektra, your Defenders, or your Danny Rand, like Iron Fist, would have been through the concept of the attorney that Daredevil actually is, like Matt Murdock, right? So technically all you had to do was make it kind of like Law and Order with superheroes, but giving you a way to introduce them. So technically you would have had Daredevil would have had Jessica Jones as a client. You know, like not that whole lawyer situation she went to where this high-powered attorney is trying to get her to be a private detective to take photos and stuff. Like, well, hey, I found myself in some trouble for whatever reason. I'm in a private detective, and now someone's body, I woke up next to a dead body.
I get what you're saying. I haven't seen it though, but I'm following you. I'm following the idea.
But like they split all these characters off, gave them their own shows with no real introduction. They tried to give us Luke Cage with Jessica Jones, and that didn't make much of a real. It didn't make much sense. It's like, oh, you're having sex with this person because you feel guilty that you killed their girlfriend. Like New York is a really, really, really big city, and people can live there for years and not even notice the other person. So the fact that you take this really big city and make all of these speculatory chance encounters doesn't make sense. But everyone can see that New York is an expensive place, and it's really easy to find yourself in trouble. So you're in a very expensive place, you are in your trouble, and you don't have any money. The only person you can turn to is kind of a pro bono defense lawyer, which they kind of introduced to us with Daredevil's character. So technically, the only person that would have interacted with all these people would have been Daredevil. Not necessarily having their own split shows, but introducing them under the guise of Daredevil. Then saying, okay, we're putting together Defenders. You know, they have good foundations, and all of a sudden, they forget the foundations there and just start putting things in random spots. You know what I mean? Like, I know that you said you had the same concept kind of for Spider-Man. That Spider-Man technically didn't have to be those movies, but could have been a show.
Yeah, man, I'm trying not to interrupt you because I just went off.
No, that's fine. That's, you know, that's the kind of the missed opportunity that I've seen. But I know you're about to go off because Marvel's more your thing when it comes to that than mine is.
I'm gonna say just talking about Disney, period, but specifically on the Marvel thing, the same idea that you talking about Matt Murdock being a lawyer. We could have had She-Hulk. So they meet. Yeah, so I guess that's in the works now because I see them talking about Disney Plus talking about a new Daredevil series.
But that's based off of the comic that came out maybe 2 or 3 years ago that tried to make Daredevil She-Hulk a comic book all its own. It went for like 6 or 7 issues.
Okay, well that's
they're trying to be comic book accurate, but it's too late. The stories aren't that long, they weren't that successful. So they're trying to make him have a cameo in She-Hulk to try to push his show again. But it doesn't. Okay. His show was better standing alone than having to meet her. But if you wanted to introduce She-Hulk years ago, when it first came out, you could have done it then. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
I guess so. The same concept, and that's shit. That's another idea of you talking about, or with saying like, well, they pulled from a comic. Then it's like, well, just because they pulled from a comic, don't mean they fucking did it right, or even pulled from a respectable comic.
That's the other issue I have is for what 10 to 15 years we got gaslit into saying it's just a comic book. It doesn't have to be comic book accurate.
Yeah.
You're racist just because you don't see the swaps in these because, you know, it's a new day and it's not like it was when the comics were made then. But now you're going back and saying, oh, we're making everything comic book accurate, so now you can't say anything about it. You're not going to be allowed to have it both ways, and I'm definitely not going to participate if you're going to give me a comic that's been written in the last 5 years when the sales for that comic weren't the best, the writing was poor, and it was fueled with putting common world and current issues into a comic where things are supposed to be so advanced that we have people that are superhumans.
The idea of the comic book shit and I want to say like when the MCU first came out, the concept of it was fucking phenomenal. I was just talking to my woman about this because we were supposed to see the equivalent of comic books except in movie form. So you would see characters' movies, but then we get to see more stories. We get to see that character. You know, we grow with those characters individually. And then you put movies out so often to where they have like crossover events, maybe team events. But Marvel pushed itself, just pumped some shit out so fast in the beginning just so that they can execute this bullshit of these characters that they making in current comics now that validates all of the shit that they putting out now.
Right.
Whereas if they would have taken it seriously, again, Hulk is my guy. We would have, you know what I'm saying? I'm still on him. But you would have seen Spider-Man. We would have seen more of the Iron Man. Like Iron Man, 1, 2, I think even 3 was nice. Even if I didn't follow the story, but just all of the suits. I think that was in 2, introducing War Machine. Tokenized character, sure. But that's still Iron Man opening up that Iron Man world. And then we saw Cap, and then we saw Winter Soldier. His involvement with Scarlet Witch. She should have had a fucking movie in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? There. Right. Seeing her. Seeing the Hawkeye.
You mean Black Widow.
Who did I say?
You said Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, Black Widow.
Yeah.
Black Widow. And then we would have seen that. Or Black Widow and Hawkeye series could have been on Disney Plus. As opposed to fucking Sam Wilson's Captain America and Winter Soldier. And we talking about social justice.
You need to do better, Senator.
I didn't even see it. I just saw people talking about it. Some about him can't get a fucking loan, but he works for fucking S.H.I.E.L.D. Like, and She-Hulk complaining as a lawyer, like, why we seeing this regular everyday shit with the skin of superheroes on it? Goddamn, what the fuck was I talking about now? But just, okay, yeah, so back to the Hulk thing, like him having his story. We would have seen him, okay? We could have seen, they actually had the General Ross set up. So we could have got the Red Hulk thing. He was already there. His quest, we could have seen if, you know what I'm saying, come to where he actually got the Hulk's DNA. Now he's a villain. You know what I'm saying? He's taking out heroes and Gamma Warriors so that he can be the Hulk. You know what I'm saying? Stories we could have seen. Hulk going off the planet Sakaar. His strong woman, his strong female character that they could have had. Kyra. Come on now. The strong woman agenda could have been there. It could have been pushed perfectly.
And it would have been legit.
And we would have been like, we feel you, strong women. Ain't nobody biggest over here. Ain't nobody got, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody transphobes over here. Give me them characters that can do whatever they want. Give me a Mystique that will turn into a man or whatever, gender fluid or whatever. I'm not saying, you know, it lines up with what I want, but I'm saying that would have been right for the character as opposed to you just turning the character into whatever you want it to be.
You want it to be.
Exactly. Yeah. Oof. All right, let me go.
We're coming in hot today, guys.
We coming in hot. I'm pissed just thinking about this. We talking about Disney, period, not just the superhero shit. Disney fucking up all around. Let me address the comment section real quick. Take It Home podcast. Shout out to him. They purposely neglect source material for narratives. Yes, they do. I'm not even that big in comics, but the way they shoehorn stuff is disgusting. Look at how they butchering Miss Marvel.
Oh, yeah.
Shit, let's go on and talk about Miss Marvel, which I'm not even the biggest Miss Marvel fan. But let's just go back to the little Marvel, I'm going to say some lore, some story I know.
Okay.
I knew that Captain Marvel was a fucking man, okay? And they turned him into a whole woman. We not addressing that story. They want to, you right, Take It Home podcast. They push narratives. They want to talk about handicapped people and the one kid and Eternals or whatever. And muted people or some shit. Like, you had this man dying of cancer. That's real. That's real life. Social justice. You could have simultaneously had some fucking marathon superhero walk for cancer because of the Captain Marvel movie coming out, right? And then we would have seen Carol Danvers, who was actually Miss Marvel. I didn't read the comics. I'm knowing this shit from playing Marvel Ultimate Alliance back in the day. You know what I'm saying? So I'm playing the games which cared about lore and stories so much to have like little galleries of like comics and shit. So you could see where we pulling this story from, what influence we getting it from. And that's how you knew people cared. But I'm like, they didn't turn the whole man into a woman, but they validated by having just done it in the comic books where they made her Captain Marvel.
So I have a question. So you don't know who the original Miss Marvel is, or the original like Captain Marvel is?
Monica Rambeau?
Yes. I was like, yeah.
I knew that much from after Young Ripper kind of talked about it, which is what I do with any character. Like I said, playing these games or reading the comics I did. Once characters was exposed to me, then I look online. Hey, who is this? What's his story? What's involvement? Do I care about this character? So yeah, that's how I found out about Monica. But I don't care about the Marvel. So
that's the issues of the fact that they in actual comic book history, her name, Monica Rambeau's name has been changed 4 times. Like she was Captain Marvel, even though like they didn't even know about Captain Marvel. She's like, they saw her and they called her Captain Marvel. Like Captain Marvel was separate, but when people saw Monica Rambeau, they said, "Oh, Captain Marvel," and that was her name. But they switched to something else, like Photon or something like that. And then when they carried her as Photon, someone else came out and they're like, let's call him Photon. So her name changed 3 or 4 times to suit the other white characters that they kept bringing on. So the fact that they were able to call this movie Captain Marvel and people not know that the original Captain Marvel, sans Captain Marvel, was black, and they let it be whitewashed. Yeah. And now they're actually feeling guilty, so they're making Captain Marvel 2 like the Marvels.
The Marvels.
So that they can actually get rid of Captain Marvel because now you got white guilt.
Look, I understand the innocence is bliss now. Because it's like the more you just told me. Yeah. What did I say?
Yeah. Innocence. That too. That too.
Yeah, but ignorance is bliss, bro. Because the more you know about these characters, you just like, ooh, you shitting on them. Ooh, you double shitting on them. Ooh, that's intentionally disrespectful that you made that move right there.
Yeah.
Again, it's like there has to be an agenda because this shit is so coordinated. Like the Obi-Wan Kenobi series right now. Why are you pushing in this black, can easily be taken for lesbian character as the big badass? And she killing a man, a male authority in like the first episode. It's like that's why you intentionally taking the shit on everything that came before. Because the decisions are just too calculated. And it's widespread.
And that's kind of the issue, is the fact that we used to be okay with there being gaps in time between movies. You know, if you told me like, okay, there's a movie here and then the next movie takes place 30 or 40 years in the future or some years later.
We hype and we speculating.
Right. We never really ask what happened in between. We could speculate, but that was the fun part. Yes. Because everyone would have their theory on things. And so I think what's happening now, especially with Lucasfilm Star Wars, is the fact that the gaps that he left to tell other stories, they're trying to be filled, and they don't need to be filled. So no one really cared between Obi-Wan having to leave to go on Tatooine to raise Luke Skywalker and the time that actual Luke Skywalker joins the rebellion. No one really asked for that gap, but now they're pushing it on us.
But they filling those gaps with shit that contradicts, again, everything that comes before or the story that they've already told. Right. Better yet, Lucasfilm in this situation, but I'm talking about the Disney with the remakes and the with this not the superhero shit that disrespects the comics. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. The same idea. It's like you putting in shit that people think about. But the fun of it was we think about it with the story, with the pieces that we have, and they're putting in like I said, just shit to just slide in it to I don't know, just for some reason to push the narrative.
Yeah, and that's the issue is technically with the time that Luke Skywalker got between being on Tatooine as a child and then before joining the rebellion, you're kind of going with the Chuck E. Cheese method, where a kid can be a kid.
Yeah.
Maybe he didn't necessarily know about his destiny or having the Force or anything like that, but he got to be a regular kid that just got raised with his uncle.
Mm-hmm.
And actually around the time that he actually joins the rebellion is typically when young adults are about going against the establishment, especially if they deem the establishment bad. In this case, he was going, rebellion's going against the Empire. Okay, that's actually cool. That's fine. But telling me these stories in between and then putting it more about what?
I'm listening, bro. I just had a thought. I'm sorry. Keep going.
No, bro. Give me the thought you got.
This is my thought, bro. Yeah. What if they making this story and they diminishing Luke, so they didn't already have him gave up on the Jedi and like threw his lightsaber, buried or whatever. What if the reason they taking away from Luke Skywalker and diminishing him as a character is because of what you said? He grows up and he fights against the rebellion. And Disney knows, my point of what I was talking about earlier, they know they are the Empire. And they are nobody fighting against the Empire. That's why they taking away from Luke, from that character, and they're exalting like the Reva. Or like I'm hearing they talking about Leia right now, and they hyped her up to be more than what she was. What she was already high and respectful and royal. You know what I'm saying? But then they turned into like this, I don't know, if she's using the Force to like swim through space and shit and not going to comas. But now she's some annoying little kid in Kenobi, which I can't watch. That whole rebellion, because again, they're getting political and they grooming little kids and all this type of shit to make them think away. That's actually the fucking Empire. They're just taking in.
I'm sorry, dog's going.
I got you.
Man.
They
Go ahead. Keep going.
They was actually taking in kids to groom them to be what is it, the Imperial Army or some shit, or you know what I mean. I'm not a super Star Wars fan like that, a diehard fan, but Disney currently is the villain in all of his shit, and it's funny, it's weird. Going back to what we was talking about with the Lion King thing earlier, before the stream.
Actually, I don't even mean to interrupt you, because you actually make a valid point that I can actually see what the movies have been making. So Iron Man, right?
Okay.
Iron Man had to be convinced that he should join S.H.I.E.L.D., right? But by and large, he had his own company, his own weapons, his own suits. Rhodey was actually his best friend who worked for the government, right? Mm-hmm. But Rhodey was like, "Hey, I'll roll with you." Correct.
Same with Falcon.
No,
these movies.
Well, that's what I'm saying. This is where it diverges, though. Okay. Ever since Iron Man and even Captain America left. Okay. He's like, I can't do this with S.H.I.E.L.D. no more. This whole thing is compromised. I need to go. You didn't tell me my best friend was still alive, and you made me go against him. I'm done with you. Mm-hmm. Thor, at least in the first one, I need to figure out who I am, because if I can't be a god, who am I? Well, I'm still a person, and a person actually gives up and lays their life down for their friend. Biblical stuff, right? but I'm my own man. My dad's king, but I'm still Thor. Correct. Let's see who else we have. Hulk. Hey, I'm a loner. Please leave me alone and do not make me angry. Right? As we go further and further along with the shows that we've seen, we get men that actually were working for the establishments that they do not like, and especially the women they're putting in there. Right? Like they're giving me the situation with She-Hulk. Right?
Okay.
She works for Shield. Why would you want to work for the company that got invested with Hydra? You're an attorney. You can work for any field that you want to within the guise of being an attorney, yet you work for what is probably Shield or the superhero division of Shield, right? Let's see, who else do we have? We've got Spider-Man, who can't learn great power and great responsibility without having Iron Man as a guide, and even then, it's mainly working with the Avengers. And with Shield, who actually again was infested. So it's like the longer you go on, and the more and more that you start seeing these weak male characters and these strong female leads, they all work for the establishment. Which I guess to your point is like, wow, they really did switch things from phase 1 to 4
real quick.
Like
I mean, sacrificed a whole lot of great story to push this narrative. And as you just made that point. Weak men, strong women, or strong woman, you are equivalent to the man or better just by being yourself. You perfect in everything that you do. The women characters don't learn anything. Again, why I call it agenda pushing. It's like, okay, what do you do to a society if you make the women value themselves and make their men lesser, or them not respect their men? And also with the Star Wars reference, like Reva, I can't speak too much on it because I haven't even seen it. I'm just seeing people talk about it. But apparently, I remember, I know in my video I did, or some journalist was making a comparison of she is an example of a black woman working in a conservative work environment and the disrespect that she gets in the fucking workforce. But again, that establishment, them saying or building this identity of, and then these are children watching this shit, right? Men, you are weak. Women, you are strong just by being you. You have to be better than the men. If they create chaos amongst us, what do the ones at the top who fed us all this information have to gain off of that? That's weird to me. That's the weird part.
Well, is it weird? Because most of the black people that you hear saying about they hate the government, can't stand police, usually either work for the government or have family that are police. So the thing is with this Reva situation, you're talking about, oh, it's a black woman working in the conservative world. With all the rise of these black-owned businesses and support black and Black Lives Matter, no one told you to work in those environments if that's what you deem them to be. Like, if you work at corporate, you know what kind of corporate is like. Where you're like, hey, I understand that this is what it's like, but hey, I'm okay with the benefits. Salary is decent to get me on my feet, and eventually I want to go private. That's that's real life. Or people just say, I don't want to work for anyone other than myself, and I'm going to take as many steps as possible as I can. I know that the pay won't be great at the beginning, but I know what the reward will be at the end, and I take home 100% of the profits that I make. That's fine. In the Empire, when we're talking about Star Wars, there are no choices, really. It's Empire or Rebellion. You can't be on the Empire and talk what to your boss. They actually did that with a comic a few years ago that just some guy was talking about this woman that was in love with Darth Vader, and he put a saber through her chest. Like, no, I'm the bad guy.
I read some of that. That shit was great.
Right.
The Darth Vader comic.
Yeah. So you can't say, oh, I'm going to talk junk to my boss. Like, it's a hostile working environment. It's the Empire. You don't get a choice once you're in. You obey orders or you get force choked.
So, again, man, that's my thing. What is the agenda to push here? Because you know what those environments are, yet they showing, which is another knock to that article, that black women are suffering in these conservative work environments. Like you said, they're choosing to be there. They're being incentivized to work and go after these degrees, and they're actually making in most cases more money than men. So why are they pushing that even in the content? You know what I'm saying? You see it pushed politically or like, I guess, economically. Now we're seeing it in the content. Black woman, you are greater than men. Come up, be strong. They're saying it to women in general. I'm just seeing a lot of black women's.
All right. So I will say this. I am not sure if you've ever heard of Kevin Samuels before.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Well,
rest
so
in
you
peace,
watch,
sir.
Rest in peace, sir. You know the women that were on the podcast that would say all the problems that they had with men, right?
Yes.
How, they're either no good, gay, in jail. And he would tell them, hey, well, if we're just talking strictly black, 54% of men are in the middle class and they're single and childless, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, well, if there's that many men on the market, let's talk about why you're not able to find what you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the course of saying that, you hear a lot of unrealistic expectations.
And they feel entitled.
Yes, and very entitled. And so usually, if your father's in your life, you know your boundaries real quick. Especially if you're a man. If you're a boy, you know what your boundaries are really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
I said do these dishes, and if you don't, you know what's coming. Or I said do your homework. If you don't, you know what's coming. So you know that, hey, well, if I don't do what someone asked me to do, that's an authority figure, I'm getting some kind of consequence or punishment.
If they are a respectable authority figure that I know has my best interest at heart.
Right. That's the key context, right? If I have an involved father figure that wants to see me do my best and be an upstanding citizen when I'm out of the house, I understand that there are consequences for my actions. And when you remove that kind of authority figure and it's just mom and you, and mom's your best friend, you're usually getting into the trouble with your mom, or she's allowing certain behaviors not to be corrected. So that when you take that behavior out into the real world and you're butting up against heads with the reality of the situation, now you have a problem and you think it's because of them and not you. And so I think for a lot of these women that are trying to speak their truth or put, their experiences in a writing, it's like, well, number one, you need therapy. Everyone should have therapy because that's what Kevin Samuels would say. It's good, it's healthy, because you need to figure out what you're missing. But when you put that in comics and you perpetuate that, all you're making is a cycle. And women usually aren't going to see the effects of this until they hit around 30, 35, 40 even. Like, oh, what's wrong with me? It's like, well, you didn't learn that, hey, everyone, fits within a certain box. I understand that you shouldn't be put in a box, but the reality is we kind of fit in boxes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So again, that's my point of like the mindset. So the Kevin Samuels thing, like I said, this evidence and what we're seeing just in life and with women that, I've been around a bunch of black women, just what I've come in contact with. These women are combative, aggressive, okay, entitled, all right. But you see that within these characters. And although you could argue, we know that comics and all this type of stuff, this nerd shit is mainly a dude's hobby. Right. You seeing them push for that audience of women and gay people, but gay people like comics and shit too. But I'm saying, like, you see them reaching out for that audience. So they're saying, audience, you come here and think this way. So we will see more women, black women, because they, you know how many women was praising any race swap of a fucking character, like Starfire, for instance, when she came out and was just like, ooh, I just want to see a shot to the white man, so making her black just, you know what I'm saying, just gonna bruise them.
Right. I want white tears. Yeah,
so you will see that shit, and so you are seeing them pull in the audience, even if it's not for those comics, which it will be for the comics. Kids love shit. It's gonna be in those movies, which could influence the comics to a certain degree. But my point is, they saying, hey, you think this way, and the way that they're telling you to think goes against a lot of I don't want to say social norms, but I'm gonna say they contribute to cultural issues. I'll say that.
Okay. Perpetuate cultural issues.
Right. So yeah, just and they using their media. I guess to speak on about like political and economical like impacts Disney is trying to have in pushing narratives. Before I get to that point, let me address Take It Home podcast again. Again, shout out to him. He runs a wrestling channel. I used to watch wrestling. I don't watch it now. I haven't watched it within the past decade, but it's nice to have conversations and to get like a behind the scenes of like wrestling and kind of the thought and process behind it and the creation of like those I'm gonna say icons. I don't want to say characters to take away from what they're doing, but I'm gonna say icons because wrestling is culturally impactful and a lot of people fucking love it,
bro. I have been to at least 2 or 3 shows in the last 3 or 4 years. It's amazing. The way that wrestling is now, it's gotten a lot better. If we ever have AEW come to San Antonio, I'm taking you. It is great. Like the performances are a lot better. I mean, it really is sports entertainment. It is phenomenal. Like, yeah, Take It Home podcast. You getting a follow after this because I need to check out. I need to find out if that MJF is actually a work or they really pulled his merch. I'll talk to you about that later, Abomination. It goes deep on this one.
I don't know what you said, but his I guess I'll show it. His comment, I was watching Young Justice. When they added new episodes, I stopped watching. LOL. I feel you. Halo is a non-binary Muslim, and Lagoon Boy Lagan is in a relationship with a man. For real?
Yes.
And woman is.
Yes, he's in a relationship with both of them. So he's like, there's a scene where he's like, I gotta go save my wife, and he brings her back. He's like, gotta go save my husband, and then go save him. Yeah. In
a relationship with a man, and so that's what it means. I'm thinking I was like, Take It Home podcast. What the hell are you writing? What are you trying to say? And he's literal. Is in a relationship with a man and a woman, and the woman is pregnant.
Yes.
I just couldn't.
Yes.
I couldn't read that. My brain could not even process that. What the fuck?
So, I mean, I was waiting to bring this up. Thank you for helping us with that Take It Home podcast. But, so, I mean, the original, I don't know if you ever saw the original, like, inaugural season of Young Justice, right? The concept of, you know, the sidekicks actually getting their show and their shine, their due. Mm-hmm. You know, the first version showed us Robin at the age of 12, Wally West the age of 14 or 15, Superboy with the age of 17, finding out as a clone, dealing with Miss Martian. It was actually really great to see, not necessarily teen drama or what's it like being under the guise of the superhero sidekick. How do you make a name for yourself, and what's that like?
Ego. Let me interrupt you real quick.
Go ahead.
This man just said Lagan Boy is in a relationship with a man and a woman. So look, real world, they pushing an agenda. This man was trying to go after Miss Marvel, right? He was in love with her. Miss Martian.
Miss Martian, yes.
And so are they telling people that once you try straightness, okay, and if that shit don't work out, just come on to the community?
That's where I was trying to go.
My bad, bro. Damn, my bad. My bad, bro.
Go ahead and do dynamite in my gold mine, bro.
My bad, bro. I thought you were just talking about the
No.
Keep going. You got it. I'm gonna shut up.
The only relationship you knew about technically was Artemis and Wally West and Miss Martian and Superboy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that was it. It was just teenage drama at that point. But like to your point, it's now like if straight don't work, this will always be here lurking in the background. So the thing is for Aqualad, he was in love with Tula, and then Tula died. So all of a sudden you see you with a guy, and there's no internal struggle that happens. And the only internal struggle that I can point to was when Miss Martian broke his mind. Which to me would suggest, okay, if your mind's broken, then you can be taken advantage of, and now you're gay. Because
just like Jean Grey and Iceman,
right?
What the fuck?
It's women breaking men's minds, and now that's making them gay. Is what you're trying to tell me?
They're making them look in themselves and find that you weren't ready for this woman. You weren't ready
the switch.
You weren't ready for this. Go be with a lesser man.
Right. And so at least I would say this. I don't want to spoil Invincible for everyone that reads the comic because I'm finishing the first compendium. But William, Invincible's best friend in the comic at the beginning, is straight. And then by the Compendium 2, he's actually gay. But they take you through the internal struggle he has to get to that point. When the show airs, he's just automatically gay. And the thing is that with it being Pride Month and everyone telling their truth, telling the story, it's just they're acting as if everyone reached their truth out of the gate. And no one reaches that point in life where being themselves or liking what they like is a straightforward process. You go through ups and downs. There is a struggle. You make a decision. You tell your best friend or the person that you trust, and then you just walk in that. If you want to celebrate it, that's fine. But to suggest that it's always been like that, or you can walk into something confidently and anyone that doesn't accept it is some form of bigot, is denying the reality that everyone goes through a process to figure themselves out and to be who they are. I never thought I'd even be in a podcast talking about, comic books, entertainment, because I was still trying to grapple with the fact that I can read comic books and still be just a guy. Cool. You're either the nerd, or you can't get women, or you don't have a hobby, or you don't have a life. So I'm not saying that all this stuff behind you was overnight, because it wasn't. Hell, all these action figures were in boxes when I met Shiro. She was the one that said, you should actually have them out, pose them. They're action figures. Let them do the action. And so with Disney,
it looks nice.
Thank you, sir. Just that's a shout out to Shiro. So even with all these characters in either Warner Brothers or Disney that they put out and say, we want a strong insert orientation character here, no one just gets to that without telling a story of how they got there first. And that's not realistic for anyone, especially children. It's okay to say, when you learn to count, like when you did math problems, they'd be like, what's 2 + 2? You'd be like, 2 + 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. You had to go about it, make the addition, say it to yourself. Oh, that is it. I can verify it, and I can say it, and I can be proud of that, and I can show you the evidence. I can show you the math. Walt Disney and Warner Brothers aren't showing us the math, and it's not adding up.
They're just saying, this is it. This is how to do it. Problem solved. Live a better life.
I mean, yeah. So, yeah.
Well, I guess we could segue into the Gotham Knights trailer, because I thought, my bad for interrupting you again. I thought you were saying how Young Justice was actually giving us teen drama with you said the skin or the guise of superheroes and how they would be handled by them, which they did great. But then we're saying, okay, pushing of agenda. We're not saying young kids anymore deal with. Did you watch Degrassi?
I heard about it. I was like, y'all some new dudes. When I heard about Degrassi, I was like, y'all different, man. But I know it's about.
Yeah.
I know that Jimmy that's actually Drake.
Yeah. So
they're like, I didn't know Jimmy could walk, man, in real life.
God damn. But yeah, Degrassi was very entertaining, and it was teenage drama. But it was real drama, and it was done well. It was great for a bunch of seasons. I can't speak of what is recently.
Currently? Okay.
Yeah, currently. But yeah, it was great. Young Justice was, and it wasn't as serious as Degrassi, but Young Justice was that teen drama, and how they dealt with it while being superheroes. The superhero story that they all have to go through. How do I balance being a superhero and a normal person? So we got to see that. So Gotham Knights is taking a whack at it and want to do the team.
Like it's funny.
Want to do I'm trying to think of something funny and comical to say, but that's just it, bro.
You're saying the trailer's gonna be comical enough, isn't it?
Oh my goodness, let me find it, bro. Because I do still want to talk about the Lion King. Just I think what I titled or what I said on Twitter was like Disney's missed opportunities.
Right.
So yeah, we talking about the missed opportunities of Disney. Let me find this Gotham Knights trailer though, so we can get on.
Okay.
You the DC dude, man. This is for you.
I really don't know where this. I don't like where this is going already, man.
I'm just gonna say it's made by CW first of all.
That's all you had to say, man. That's all you had to say.
What do I do? I'm sharing the screen, people. And yeah, we're not monetized.
You just show it, right?
Whatever. We can do whatever we want. I'm sharing the screen right now.
All right.
Let me know how the volume is.
All right, go ahead.
There are 30 other rooms in this place to hook up.
Mom, I swear we were just talking.
What is this?
Terry, we have a drink together?
Right. Sorry.
Oh, somebody broke into the good stuff. And your dad gonna be okay with that?
I don't think you'll miss it. It's a questionable choices. Everybody relax. I got this.
Harvey. Turner, it's your father. He's dead. I have to ask you, did you know he was Batman?
Hey man, I can stop it at any time.
Wait, hold on. Are we saying that's supposed to be Dick Grayson?
No, that's some character made up for the show.
What?
Yeah.
Keep playing.
You don't have to keep the secret any longer. It must be a relief.
Yeah, that's what I'm feeling. Relief.
My father believed that each of us could become a light and bring a new dawn to Gotham.
Can't imagine what you must be going through. I am gonna find who did this.
It's just the latest in an epidemic of violence since the demise of the Dark Knight.
To wonder who will protect Gotham now that Batman is dead.
We have 3 suspects in custody.
Put your fingerprints on the gun that killed Bruce Wayne.
That's not what happened.
We were paid to break into his office, not kill him.
It's like a museum had sex with a bank vault.
You're just trying to get us to turn on each other.
My brother walks.
I'm trying to get the truth. Are you really the Joker's daughter?
Oh my God, not in my part.
Speak with my legal
Nope.
counsel.
And you should have shot at her kneecap.
Turner, there's one more suspect.
They think I killed my dad because I wanted his money?
I'm sorry.
Oh, look. It's the Bat Brat.
No, you haven't figured it out? We didn't kill your dad any more than you did.
They don't care if we're innocent. Time to pick a side.
What the hell are you doing?
Well, I'm trying to get these cuffs undone, but it's not working. Colin and Harper had no problem getting theirs off.
He's in on it. They all are.
You just made my job easier.
What is this?
Look.
Who is this for?
I was trying to stop it before this happened, but look, when I saw this trailer, I saw Nerd Erotic react to it on his channel. Bro, you should have been stopping me, bro.
Not in my park. The minute she said Joker's daughter, not in my park. No.
Look, when this happened and you see all the kids locked up and then the Batarang come out, I was just like, I bet that's the black girl. And here you go. She comes out and bam, strong woman.
Just keep playing this stuff, man. Just. Who is this?
Carrie Kelly?
Wait, I know you.
She said Carrie Kelly. Who speaks
Who
like
the hell is Carrie Kelly?
Who speaks like that?
Who shows their identity like that?
She can trust them. They're the Bat family. They're the Gotham Knights. Batman left it in his will that the black girl that he took in instead of this.
That his son knows nothing about. Who could easily be a love child? Okay.
Yeah.
No, okay.
She read the will, and Alfred gave her the will, and it said that you shall find the Gotham Knights.
Are you lying?
Yeah. But
okay, I was going to say
From Trey. So you knew my dad was Batman?
I became his eyes and ears. Called me his little Robin.
No.
What?
No.
What?
No. Absolutely not.
I became his eyes and ears. Called me his little Robin.
Called me his little Robin.
Absolutely not.
Oh, that's
Absolutely
so cute.
not.
That's so cute.
Absolutely not.
That's so
Absolutely
cute.
not. Keep.
This is another example of soft ass little white boy. The strong black woman is
That
better
jumped
than you.
the strong black woman that jumps the line.
Stay in your place.
Which Robin is this supposed to be? What is this? What is this?
Bro, he's some adopted character.
Play this so I can get to the end before I have a stroke, man.
We can't prove we're not killers by killing someone. We have to stick together, find who really killed my dad, and clear our names. Because we all deserve justice.
She look like New Goblin.
They'll be looking for us in every alley, every dark corner of the city. There's one thing they don't have.
How do you not know the Batcave is real?
A bat cave.
Oh my god.
This is
Gotham Knights. That's what it is.
Hey, tell me, you brought the Batmobile, right?
No. My mom's car. Gonna be a tight squeeze.
I call shotgun.
Only on the
Nope.
CW.
Nope. Not today. Nope. Not today, Satan. Not today. Nope.
There you go.
Nope. That's the worst version I could ever think of. There is no multiverse in which it is that terrible.
That's worse than the game. And that shit's terrible. But it's CW. Bro, when I said it's the CW, that should have gave you all you need to know. That's why it's funny now, because now you just like, okay, I know what's happening. It's going to be trash. Let me laugh at how fucking horribly you fuck it up. How terrible can you make this shit? We love female characters done right. The shit that they pumping out right now are detestable. If this would have came out during my nerdom, my life of nerdom, sure, I would be the misogynist that they want us to be.
You'd be a turf.
These hoes would be terrible. God damn.
It's rare that I wish I were blind, because I only have one eye that works. I envy the blind that didn't have to see this. Who is this for? In no multiverse, no story, no version of Batman where he has a ward or an actual son, do they not know that he's Batman? Where are the adults? There is no Alfred. Harvey Bullock is skinny. That's off. There's no Jim Gordon. There's no Oracle. You haven't even told me what the son of Bruce Wayne is. The fact that someone put a cowl on him, shot him in the back of the head, and they're like, "Did you know your dad was Batman?" That wouldn't make any sense. How do you know his dad's Batman, but no one knows the Batcave is in Wayne Manor?
Mm-hmm.
How do you not do that? How do you not know these things? How do you not investigate?
How is he? I'm Carrie Kelly.
Don't do that to me, man.
I said, I know this. I'm Carrie Kelly.
I will walk off this live stream. Do not do that to me, sir.
I'm a teenager. I talk like this. Refer to me as Carrie Kelly. I am Batman's ward.
I don't want to hear characters with vocal fry. I can't stand that. You know what that is?
No, what's that?
It's like this. You gotta make a decision. You gotta do something.
I'm Carrie Kelly.
That's
Valkyrie. That's Valkyrie.
I'm about to headbutt my tablet, man.
He called me his little Robin. Sound like Batman was fucking her. That's what it sounds like.
It sounds like he was a pedophile, right?
Yeah.
You know, like you like that one guy family guy. Oh, come here, little Robin. Oh.
My back cave. Don't you want to shine a big penny? I don't know, Batman. I don't know why he be having a big ass penny in there. Talking about to little boys. You want to see a dinosaur? I know you got that big dinosaur in there. Want to jump in my?
I got playing cards and a dinosaur and a big penny.
Want to jump in my car? I can pay your tuition, little boy. Let me try a girl.
Oh man,
that's your Batman. That's all these men nowadays that they making.
That is hashtag not my Batman right there. Not at all.
Not mine. What's up?
I'm laughing because I'm very upset because I can tell you what the original Gotham Knights was, and I can even give you back to maybe a year and a half to 2 years ago with the Detective Comics. I actually have it back here. It was a 10-volume set, and it was really 8 volumes to be expanded to 10. But the original was that because Batman is involved with the Justice League, with the Outsiders, he sometimes has to go off planet to fight, planetary threats. That Gotham is basically unattended. So he pulls in Tim Drake and tells him, hey, I want you to start the Gotham Knights program. And I will tell you exactly who the Gotham Knights is made up of, at least in the Rebirth version. Clayface, Batwoman, Batwing, Spoiler, Orphan, Red Robin, or Tim Drake, and Azrael. That whole squad is to protect Gotham City when Batman can't get to there. They actually have a belfry. They actually have Oracle step in at some points, Nightwing, or even Red Hood if they have extreme trouble. The goal was that Gotham should always be protected, and Gotham would have its Knights because that was actually the football team or the basketball team. The pro team was the Knights, the Gotham Knights. So they were trying to play off of Gotham's actual team and say, hey, we are a team of street-level superheroes, and we protect Gotham. Not this, I'm going to take these 3 people under my wing that I know absolutely nothing about. I didn't even know my dad was Batman. I'm that ignorant of my dad's dealings. And now I'm going to take in 3 people that I thought killed my father, and now we're going to get justice. That doesn't make any sense at all. And I'm between reading what I have from Detective Comics and seeing this, that's not Gotham Knights at all. That's something else. That's Team Runaways.
I did read like the first 2 volumes of the Runaway comic, and then the show came out, and I was just like,
nah.
I was just weird. Yeah, it was a trash. I hate live action though, so I really go into live action shit just like it's not going to be what I want it to be. I'm gonna say that. Okay. Right. But let's see how it's handled. But yeah, man, I played that. That was for you. Gotham Knights is not no shit I care about.
I know I envy people that never have to see that.
I understand that it's a cool story or arc.
It's not a cool story, man. That show?
No, I'm talking about the book Gotham Knights.
Oh, okay, different.
The
okay,
run.
Different. Okay, cool.
I'm saying that I've heard great reviews or great reception of that. So yeah, to ignorance is bliss. For you to know or have an idea of what that shit's supposed to be and to see this, you just like, again, bro, these people are deliberately saying fuck the shit that you know and love.
CW knows that it's trash. You know how I know?
How?
Give me 3 names that you heard.
Of what? Of
just names. Give me names. Give me
names
that they used. Give me them. Give me 3.
In this show?
That trailer you just saw.
Carrie Kelly, Batman,
okay. And Harvey Bullock, right?
Okay.
Did we hear who Bruce Wayne's son is? His name? Did we hear anything about the teens that were in holding?
I'm assuming. I'm gonna take your word for it. We didn't. I don't recall, but I didn't even give a shit.
I know. Well, that's the problem. Is the fact that you didn't give me any of these characters' names because the minute the names come out, everyone's gonna be like, "That's not a person in the comics," or "That's not what they look like. That's not how they act like." The fact that number one, the CW is bleeding money at this point. Ever since Arrow pretty much was off the air, the fact that Warner Brothers being in the deal with Discovery Plus and finding out that only is CNN bleeding money, but the CW is bleeding money too. They're looking to sell those.
Mm-hmm.
You're not making it particularly attractive by putting out trash shows based on things that are comic book in name only.
They said we're gonna ride it out, go out with a bang. I said let's fuck it all up. Batwoman.
That's gonna be a fizzle.
It's funny. It's funny that you said the name or the members of the actual teams, because I know you said Batwoman, you said Batwing. So I'm just acknowledging that there are adults on the team, but Batwoman just got canceled, so maybe that's why she's not gonna be in this shit. But yeah, no adults present in this, but yeah. Hold on, Batwing made an appearance in Batwoman, didn't he? I thought I saw that.
So the issue is the fact that version of Batwing lacks confidence. The Batwing that they give you, at least in Rebirth, he's kind of like Iron Man, kind of a jerk.
Hold on, so you saying CW Batwing lacks confidence?
Yes, he did.
Okay.
He's a security guard. It's perfection. It's just maybe I should make a suit. Maybe I should team up with you.
So another example of a weak man.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. That's why I said it didn't make sense. Yeah. Like even in Rebirth, he's kind of like, well, I do what I do. I do what I want. Hey, I made this. I'm working on perfecting the program. I understand that Tim Drake is a genius, but he's older, so he's like, well, there's some things that I can improve upon so that we're not so vulnerable to attack. Because Tim Drake maybe didn't see this, I can fix that, or I can use what he has as an existing protocol for what I can build upon.
Mm-hmm.
So even though he is Batwing in Rebirth, and I know that that's kind of a play off of the Batwing that was in Africa in the New 52, fine, whatever. But don't give me this Batwing that has lacking confidence and has to follow around, the white girl superhero because that's his cousin. Like, no. In the comic book, the only reason that Bruce acts
that's his cousin.
Yeah, Cassandra Cain is his cousin
in the CW.
Yeah, Cassandra Cain, not Cassandra Cain. I'm trying to remember what her name was. But yeah, no, not even in the CW. I mean, in lore, it technically Batman is Bruce's cousin. Like Martha's brother is the general.
Okay, no, I thought you were saying that she's Batwing's cousin.
No, I'm sorry. No, she's
okay.
Batman's cousin.
Okay.
So the thing is that relationship is that familiar relationship is there. But in the comic, Bruce is like, I can't have her stray too far. So I have to bring her in. I want you to be the tactician of the group. You teach us the formations that we need for attacks. You train them. Tim Drake is going to lead the program so that it's set up properly. Tim, I know that you love spoiler. Bring her in the fold too. I can't have Orphan by herself because she's an assassin that doesn't speak. So I need to bring her in. Clayface, you had something go wrong for you, but I believe you're not beyond rehabilitation or redemption. So I need to bring you one. So the reason why he has everyone on the team and he constructs it specifically to stay within Gotham, that stuff that I saw in the CW had no elements of that whatsoever. You're giving me Harvey Bullock without Jim Gordon.
Yeah. So Bullock and Dent, what's the difference?
Oh, is it Harvey Dent?
I thought that was Two-Face.
It is, but I'm like, Bullock was he was the fat one, the fat cop. Remember like Batman the Animated Series?
Yeah.
Harvey Bullock was always one eating stuff and
that's his name, Harvey Bullock.
Yeah.
So they both named Harvey. Okay, so that's why you say he's skinny. Okay.
Yeah, that's why I was like, that doesn't make sense.
Because I thought, okay, so I'm just trying to get it straight. So Harvey Dent, he was a police.
Harvey Dent is Two-Face.
Yeah. So who was he before he was the villain?
He was a district attorney.
Okay, so still in the law. So he was okay.
Right.
Okay, so I'm just making sure that I was not confusing those two characters. So that was Harvey Bullock. So you said that was that's why you say he's skinny because he was the fat dude.
Yeah. He was always fat. Like even in Batman Begins, remember that the fat dude with the hair that was slicked back and was kind of curly.
Maybe I don't know the Batman movies.
Swear to me. That scene, remember?
Bro, I don't.
Okay,
I'm not a Batman
Okay.
guy like that.
But they always make it so that the partner Harvey Bullock has always been fat.
Yeah.
So this making him skinny and kind of the coiffed hair to the back, like, nah, that's not him. Like, if you want to say that's Jim Gordon, maybe, but that they're still lacking the red hair, the signature mustache, and the glasses.
Yeah.
So none of this to me is even remotely close to the actual comic book lore.
Have you seen Batman Bad Blood? The animated movie?
No, but people tell me I should watch it. I just keep forgetting to watch it.
Bro, what the? Hold on. So, but you've seen the Batman, the DC animated movies?
Yeah, I saw Son of Batman, but I didn't see that. I didn't see Bad Blood when it happened after, because it happened after that.
Son of Batman. So there was two with Damian.
Right.
There was a Court of Owls story. Did you see that one?
Maybe.
That
Maybe.
one was.
I read the book though.
Right, which is what the shit's supposed to do. If you see the movie, it's supposed to intrigue you and like, okay, let me go read that comic. Right. Which is what I did. So I read the story. I love the fucking Court of Owls story out of the New 52.
Well, you know that's what probably the next Batman movie is gonna be based off of.
I hear you. It's gonna be terrible, but I'm just saying, like, to see that was a story I actually know of Batman, and in DC, Batman is my favorite character. I don't know a whole lot about him, but I've collected my stories of him, and I feel like he's the most relatable character as far as the Justice League. So I fucks with Batman, and much respect to him. But yeah, that's why I asked, have you seen the animated Bad Blood? Because it actually was, I don't know if it was the Gotham Knight story, but it was Batman was missing, assumed dead. And then Damian, Nightwing, I don't think Red Hood was in it. Maybe he was. But Batwoman, Batwing was in it. So there was a Bat family trying to figure out what happened. And it was a great fucking movie.
All right, I'll check it out then.
Yeah, so yeah, man, watch that. Have you seen the Dark Avengers? Justice League Dark?
I did. Yeah. That one I did. And I understood the fact that Warner Brothers animated division felt that they had to introduce all these characters under the guise of Batman, because Batman wants to be the most prepared. So they had to introduce the story through the eyes of Batman, because I guess he's the tourist that the vehicle of knowing these characters goes through.
Okay.
So when they started doing all the split off of Justice League Dark, Batman was usually in them, which I was okay with. The Justice League Dark ones were actually really good. I liked them. Embrace the horror. Everything isn't, always sunshine and roses and the Joker and Darkseid. It's like, well, hey, it's some stuff that we aren't even privy to seeing, because we don't have that. We're not sensitive to magic like these characters are, which would be actually really good. So,
you know what? Let's talk about since we talking about missed opportunities from Disney. Let's actually talk about some Disney shit. We've been talking about properties that they've kind of hijacked or taken over. We went to DC and Warner Brothers for a bit, but we was making the Lion King comparisons. But actually, we in the month of June. Lightyear comes out on the 17th. Okay. So that's another fucking example of white man, you're being reduced because now we're putting a strong black woman. She didn't have half of her head shaved. She has her hair braided that side. But she still got the SJW haircut. And yeah, man, unfortunately, it's another example. It lacks creativity because it's the same story that we're seeing over and fucking over and over. Actually, I'm going to make a collage or a video, and it's just going to be a compilation of all these fucking strong women that they making.
Yeah, and I think part of the reason why it's easy to push strong, independent black women as characters is because they actually believe that, right? Yeah. So I don't know if I actually said it to you, but I did it with one of my other friends. I said, hey, if you think about it, every other race, this doesn't make sense for, because they actually act like the women belong to their men, right? Mm-hmm. I said, let's talk about it. I said, do Hispanic women act like they belong to Hispanic men? Yes. Do Asian women act like they belong to Asian men? Yes. do Muslim women act like they belong to men? He's like, oh, definitely. I said, do white women act like they belong to white men? He's like, pretty much, yeah. I said, well, do black women act like they belong to black men? He's like, no. So with all the other races, the goal typically is married, children, stable family, right?
I would say that they feel like they that the man is valuable, and as long as he's set up and in a good position, she will benefit and be taken care of as well. That's primitive. Fucking females seek out males who can provide. Right. All right.
Exactly. And then it's like the one race where that does that primitive actual knowledge doesn't translate in what they've been showing you is with black women. Like they would actually believe I can do bad all by myself. I don't need the man. Like he's subject to me. Like I'm better than you. And I don't mind telling you or showing you. You need to learn your lesson based on what I'm doing. You can't learn your own individual lesson and grow without me. So go, man. Roll what you got. Roll what you got.
Yeah, man. Man, you need to look inside yourself and do better. Reevaluate yourself.
And step up.
Because you are the problem. Unfortunately, we seeing live action our male superheroes get cucked. Any strong male figure, especially if he's an authority on anything, if he's great at anything, we're seeing dicks get chopped off in media, okay, and women putting their heels on the faces of men and telling them stay in your place. Exactly. Now, this is another animated example of that in Lightyear, which comes out during Pride Month. All right, they didn't just took it, and Lightyear, gay kiss. Okay, who's pushing a gay kiss? Black woman. All right, so they're gonna use our skin color again to tell our women this is the better choice.
I see you got the dislike already highlighted.
I didn't do anything.
You don't see that dislike on.
Oh yeah. You saying I hit dislike already? Oh
yeah. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, that shit's trash. So yeah, man. So this trailer, and the reason I brought this up is because they, again with the MCU in the She-Hulk trailer, they were saying the Avenger, billionaire narcissist, just shitting on anything that came before. Yet they capitalize off the name, right?
Right.
This Lightyear trailer says Lightyear, you've known the toy. So I've already done a video where they were saying this is Lightyear in name only. This is not the story that you know of him. Not even a toy. Right. They're talking about the Space Ranger. Okay. Right. We have a show, Buzz Lightyear of Star Command, that actually talks about his life as a Space Ranger. And the people making this shit, the director, executive producer, have already said that shit's not going to be in here. This is not that story. Think of this as the events that came before. That way, the shit that you actually know about Buzz Lightyear don't got nothing to do with what we doing. Get this shit out your head. Again, nostalgia, not here. All right, what you know and love and care about, not here. But that name here, though, come see it because of that name.
Oh, definitely.
All right, so here we go, Lightyear. Okay, you've known the toy, yet this ain't the fucking toy, but we're gonna use the toy for the trailer to pull you in with the heartstrings and shit. Man, let me go and get into it, man. Let me get into it.
You know the toy. On June 17th,
the actual Buzz Lightyear in the flesh.
Discover his story.
This is my mistake.
You know what? Let me go back. I'm gonna say this. Okay. Yeah. Again, agenda pushing. Now you're gonna see if they show. We'll see the strong black woman, how she interacts with Buzz Lightyear with respect, same level. But I'm seeing this black guy who's assumably in a high position as well, and he looks at Buzz Lightyear with praise, with reverence. Buzz Lightyear in the fucking flesh, I'm meeting you. But the strong black woman talks to Buzz as if he's an equal. Better yet, she's probably teaching him a lesson in this movie.
As a subordinate. It's like a subordinate.
She's the one who's more in control of herself on the team.
Well, they're not even 12. We're only 12 seconds in, and already we're saying that Buzz Lightyear made a mistake. when you told me that he was experimenting with time dilation.
Yes.
Then if no one else is doing it and he's a test pilot, technically this isn't a mistake. This is a miscalculation. This isn't has something. Hey, well, man, I messed this up. I made a mistake. I mean, if you're a test pilot for something that's likely to go south, I mean, it's a contingency. Mm-hmm. This was something that would have been calculated for, and it's beyond you. You're a pilot.
You just the one that pushed the button.
Right.
They told you, hey, go get over there. It should happen like this. Okay. Right. But we've given you a manual on what to do if shit go wrong.
It's Star Command. Like, you're pretty much, it's like the Air Force. You're given orders. You're a soldier.
Mm-hmm.
And you're messing with an experimental, I'm guessing, system with time dilation. It's experimental. So, I mean, you technically didn't make the mistake. It was whoever that was setting up that protocol made the mistake by not telling you.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah, man.
On June 17th,
the actual Buzz Lightyear in the flesh.
Discover his story.
This is my mistake.
This is my mistake. Strong white man fucked up. I'm not gonna say white man. Let's just say strong straight man. Straight man fucked up.
Okay.
We have to get it.
Strong black woman gonna fix it.
From Disney and Pixar.
We can help you. To infinity
and beyond.
Whoa.
Respect. I believe that's her. I believe this is her.
That is her. Yeah.
We gonna see them and the relationship, and then I don't know, bro. Is she gonna take the disc job because she don't want to fucking put her life on the line no more? She care about her wife or some shit. I don't know. And he gonna be like, no, my duty is I gotta be out there, doing the thing. So we gonna see her. We gonna know she a badass. But in the actual story, we get to see her in her general position running shit. Okay.
I'm stuck on the whole of To Infinity and Beyond.
We just.
I don't know if you're trying to. I don't know if you're trying to do the what's it called? That painting. I forget who it is, but it's man and God, and it's this close. You know what I'm saying?
I hope that's Michelangelo. I went to art school. I did.
Yeah. It might be Michelangelo or maybe Leonardo. I'm not sure which one. Maybe
I think it's called The Creation or some shit. Yeah, but it's God
right
and
here,
then
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, I get if it was that, but I mean, like, this is a fist bump. Or if you want to take it full away, give me the bro clap and we hug. Don't do it halfway with a tink. Like, that reminds me of the Hulk and She-Hulk where they're clinking glasses. You've got big fists. Like, that's a power pound. That's good. See? Now it's your turn to say not in my park. Okay.
I hate that you just made that comparison, bro. What the fuck?
I'm not playing. I'm just saying.
That's what I said with She-Hulk. We not seeing them bump fists like we ready to put in work. We seeing this whole kinship, friendship, little tiny little tink glass, little fingers touching, and now you comparing it to the fucking creation. The story of God creating man, and now they have. I hope they ain't reacting to me, but now we have.
Let me check. See, keep going, man.
Now we have a gay black woman authority figure passing infinity and beyond. Come on, bro. Infinity, is that not discussed with like life and creation or something? Circle of life.
Exactly.
Are they saying are gays giving us power now? Are they trying to say that gay is God is gender fluid?
I don't know. That's why just the way that looks is like it's one of two things. It's not it's just the way that you showed it to me. It looked like a passive. It was a very passive fist bump, and it's a terrible look. But it's a team. Like, who breathes like that in the army? Like, it's supposed to be we go out to infinity and beyond. Like, let's go infinity and beyond, bro.
Yeah, there ain't no telling what we run into. Monsters gonna fucking eat our faces off, spit acid on us. The suits are for a fucking reason. Right. The laser beam that he said, whoa, don't touch that. That's for a reason. That's because you don't know what's out there, and some shit might come at you with your death in mind. I'm going to eat you. This should be a space cop. Buzz Lightyear is supposed to be fucking Luke, or I'm gonna say Anakin. Let's say one of them. But the story of that, the Rangers, maybe it's the Jedi Corps, but again, I'm saying if it's Luke, then it's not really a Jedi thing. But the Green Lanterns. That's why I said in my fucking video, the character's name is Booster. In the cartoon, Buzz Lightyear has a member on his team, the big bread dude. His name is Booster. He puts me in the mind of Kilowog from the Green Lanterns every fucking time. I don't know if they did that on purpose, but I'm like, Buzz Lightyear is the perfect story that's nods to all this other great sci-fi shit, but this is a toy. You know what I'm saying? This is a toy made in the image of the idea of those. Now we're getting a real life story of that, and we're not seeing space rangers going out doing space shit. We're not seeing aliens, because Disney want to talk about don't be racist. We're not seeing fucking aliens in this. We're only seeing humans, and I'm seeing Buzz Lightyear surrounded by a bunch of minorities.
Yeah.
Who's racist, Disney? When I see Buzz Lightyear looking like he transporting immigrants across the fucking galaxy borders or planetary borders or whatever, like they giving me mixed signals.
Yeah.
It pisses me off, bro. Like, what I was saying was that when you just made that comparison to the creation, it's like, and I've already seen this on TikTok or some shit where this community is justifying their gayness with God, and how if he's not man or woman, you know what I'm saying, he's non-binary or gender fluid, all this type of weird ass shit. Now it seems like they saying every human falls under one of these letters. And the only reason you are man or woman is because God, all these letters gave you the power, and you just so happen to only choose one of the genders, or we created you to be like one gender or some shit.
Well, I mean, the B and the in that whole alphabet, the B and the T are in conflict.
Yeah.
Because the B lets you know there are two genders that you like, and the T is just like but they're in conflict. So you can't, if you have trouble justifying your choice with yourself, that's one thing. But to try to say, no, God greenlit this for me, that's another. Because now we're going to run into conflict with people that don't believe that.
Yeah.
Exactly. If you make that choice for yourself, that's fine. If you attend a church that embraces that umbrella, that's fine. But saying that, hey, the God you believes what I'm doing is okay, you're always going to run into conflicts with that. Because there are some people will say, you know what, God says it's okay to have tattoos. But people will say in the New Testament, it says, don't mark your body. Then you could say, well, Paul was the one that wrote the New Testament and said, don't mark your body. So it's like, well, did Paul say it or did God say it? But that's a conversation you can have, because you're going to run into conflict when you say something's okay and someone says, no, it's not okay. If you want to I got tattoos. If you want to have tattoos, that's fine. That's a decision that I made for myself. I'm not going to use God's word or anyone else to justify why, because it was a decision that I made. So
I hate when the people in the church say, man, the Lord told me that whatever. Insert prophecy here.
And bro, I went to a private school. You know, I went to a private institution that was heavily Christian. I have never been cock blocked by the Lord so many times. But the Lord just tells me right now isn't the time for you to be dating and not dating my friend who you like and she likes you. But the Lord said neither one of you should date. You should just focus on other things like himself. I'm like, well, the Lord didn't tell me that.
Yeah.
So now we're in conflict. But
yeah, man.
But yeah, that's what. Yeah, you're right. With the thing for the creation, I don't know if you're trying to mimic that. Which that doesn't make sense if you actually touch the finger, because that's the point. Is it's the space between God and man. But that's one thing. But if you're trying to do what your version of a fist bump is in the future, that's no. Because even fighters that go into the ring for UFC, they hug. Because what we're doing is inherently dangerous. We understand that. I could go in that cage and I might not come back out. So we need to hug each other because it might be the last time. There's no time for this here stuff, And that would be the perfect,
way to show us, not just push this character, strong black woman, you know what I'm saying? Not just make her us accept her because she's great. All right, because y'all say she great. The same with them aliens on fucking Lightyear Star Command. Let's see them on the team and see the relationship grow. That way, when I see Buzz Lightyear hug this person, I fucks with her. I'm embracing her. I love this character as well, not just because Buzz validates her, but because I see why. You know what I'm saying? I've been on the journey with them. You just throwing this motherfucker out there. Now you telling me that Buzz Lightyear's thing in the Toy Story movies to Infinity and Beyond is not his thing now?
Right.
It came from a woman, and now we got this weird finger thing when it was just a saying of his. Now it's a finger thing. Let's compare that to Kenobi. Now you telling me that Luke Skywalker is not the Jedi who he is because of Obi-Wan Kenobi? You telling me Reva made all that shit happen? That's what I mean, bro. In the places where story could go, Disney is sliding in this shit that goes against what came before.
Well, I would say I could say that it's part of the way they want history to be in general now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was reading about debunking Howard Zinn. It was a book a woman wrote about a guy named Howard Zinn. And I don't know if you know him, but he was the one that wrote A People's History of the United States. It's for a large part.
I don't know.
Basically, he was like, well, when everyone was talking about, Columbus was a genocidal maniac. He went back and, he was the one that was going back and saying, we can get these dumb Indians to do what we want. And if we don't, we're going to kill them and get rid of them. Right? He was the one that started that. So when people were saying that it went from Columbus sailed the ocean blue in 1492 to he was a genocidal maniac. We're taking Columbus Day off the calendar. We're not even going to celebrate him at all. Like Howard Zinn's mainly the reason why people say that, but it's mainly revisionist history. Like a lot of the material that he got from it, he took out misquoted portions from journals. He didn't include an entire story, but he wrote it anyway. And so people are picking this up and saying, well, you're inserting what you think the natives would have felt when they met Columbus, but you don't know that. You don't have their journals. And the journals that you did have from Columbus, you didn't include the entire context of what he was saying. And so for a lot of them, they're getting a revisionist history. So they want to do like the 1619 Project, that America wasn't just founded on the freedom to practice religion as you see fit, but it was actually so that we could bring slaves over and to establish, an empire of, I guess the slaves in a master class. And so you're seeing that, and the fact that they want that to be the actual history because they need it to be the desperate history, it infects every part of multimedia you're seeing now. You see what I'm saying? So it can't be that the guy that Kenobi taught Luke, we have to have a black interrupt us because we're the ones that taught you how to do that.
Yeah. Bro, that's just my thing, bro. It's like it's calculated.
Yeah.
And if you pay attention, you can see it. So like what nefarious deeds or, end goal is really
well, I mean,
in mind, if they have an end goal, or are they just like, we're just gonna ride this out and just control people?
I think the goal is to ride it out because you're technically saturated the market in terms of your customer base. So you want to get that progressive audience, and to get the progressive audience, you have to speak to what they want. And case in point was I saw the Pinocchio trailer, and if we're looking at it, originally what it was supposed to be was Pinocchio is literally Italian. People know this. The Italian title is Le Avventure di Pinocchio, Storia di un burattino. Right? Basically, it's the adventures of Pinocchio or the adventures of a puppet. Right? And so, Geppetto wishes upon a star. The fairy comes in, makes Pinocchio lifelike, but not necessarily a real boy. In original context, it's the lady with the blue hair that does that.
All right. Well, real quick with that, that's another example of the religion thing. A fairy, I'm like, that's a supernatural deity with power. Yeah. So I'm like, that's another Disney show. Oh, well, you said she ain't gay though. I thought it was a trans person.
No. Cynthia Erivo is an actress. Okay. But the problem I had is the fact that it's an Italian story, and the lady has blue hair. It just doesn't have this blue aura about her and be bald. She's literally the lady with blue hair, azure hair, blue. This lady doesn't have any hair. You look directly at it and said, I'm gonna go this way with it. And so the problem I have is, like you said, you made Lion King blackity black, 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 right? I'm assuming at some point when they do The Princess and the Frog, that's going to be a blackity black, 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 right?
And, bro,
Black Panther was African to blackity black, black, black.
I think Princess and the Frog gonna be very, very entertaining. I think they're gonna fucking make that one, like you said, blackity black.
Right.
Because with Black Panther, it succeeded. Black
Panther technically was the worst Marvel movie they put out.
But because it was because it was the pandering and the culture and the African and all that, black people sold that movie. They marketed that movie. They shared it to all their black friends.
Exactly.
And because Tiana is the black princess, they're gonna eat that shit.
But now here's a problem you run into.
Okay.
You're not gonna be able to say she's the first black princess because you showed me Little Mermaid. You're showing me this black fairy in Pinocchio.
I feel you. That's not gonna stop them though.
It's not, but the problem is it's going to be an actual lie now. The problem I have is that whenever it's everyone else's turn to have their story, they will take purposely from the actual culture that it relies on to fit the person's story they're trying to tell, whether it be black, LGBTQ, whatever. They always steal from the main property to prop them up with that. But when it's time to tell an actual Italian story based in Italy, literally with an Italian name, Pinocchio, now you're putting in a black fairy. And that's where I have a problem. Because if you're not seeing this clear enough, it's going to actually start to seep in our stories. And I'm going to have a problem even more with you. I know that Cinderella isn't really European. Cinderella's Chinese, like 1200s, right? I get that maybe within telling different versions of the story, it becomes European. However, if you want to tell an actual authentic story, then you need to use the actual story material. Pinocchio is Italian, so I expect the people to be of Italian descent when I see them in the movie.
Hey, that reminds me of something. I was kind of like thinking, how do we combat all of this shit? And I was just like, well, what if we just did that, or like kind of pointed out this shit? So like all this talking about whitewashing of characters. I'm like, well, let's see examples of them blackwashing characters to push a narrative, or what's that? Putting a sexuality on a character, you know what I'm saying, that hasn't been there, like calling out all that type of shit. I don't know what that would look like, but like you said with the Pinocchio example, like, oh my God, look at this blackwashing of this character and whatnot. And that way, like you said, bro, it's gonna start seeping into our shit and all that, and then we can get away with doing shit, but other folks can't. It's just like, nope, let's call out all this bullshit and let's really know what we can do and what we can't do. All right, instead of all the double standards.
Right, and the other issue I'm having is the fact that, and I saw it in a YouTube / TikTok video that a guy was reacting to. He was saying technically there's nothing that advanced the culture for civilization that didn't have a white man's backing or push. Like the founding of America, white dudes. Ending slavery, white guys. You know, women's suffrage, white guys had to have been behind that. You know, because it was actually 50-50. Half of women didn't want the right to vote.
Yeah.
Even if they're saying, hey, would you want to vote? No, I don't want to do that. It was 50-50. And then there's white guys saying, hey, look, let's push for you to actually vote. Civil rights, we had Malcolm X, we had Martin Luther King Jr., but you also had young white students, politicians getting behind that too. You know what? You should have civil liberties. And if you're a citizen of the United States, what's under the Constitution, and you're a United States citizen, you're entitled to that too. So now that it actually turns out that white men are actually struggling for the first time in what would seem like a long time as a whole, they have zero support from any of the other races or genders. You know what I'm saying? It's like, well, if they've helped us, if you want to talk about slavery being a part of our history, then you have to talk about the people that actually helped end the slavery.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, okay, well, hey, you did help us obtain our freedom. I need you to help us. Like, hey, look, you don't have to keep propping us up by putting down the white guys. We would have our own stories that may not even involve them, because we can tell self-contained stories, because not everyone that's black interacts with white people all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So we can have self-contained stories. You don't have to tell my story at the expense of someone else's.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, you can have your story. That's fine. You know, if that's what you want to make, you know, if that's and your wider audience looks like you, that's fine. But do not put them down to elevate me, because that means I'm stepping on top of them to get where I am. And it's also saying I can't get anywhere else unless someone's being put down for me to get there.
Right, exactly. What they did with again, Kenobi, Reva. She had to take out the dude that was over her for Darth Vader to acknowledge her. But yeah, bro, like Boondocks. I think I was trying kind of make an example. Like, I don't know any like real American cultural icons besides, like, you could say, like, that are black. Besides, and I'm sure there are some, but like Boondocks would be an example of that. If they were to like reboot Boondocks and make fucking like Granddad white and he just took in these black kids or some shit, black people would have an issue with that.
Yeah.
Not saying that story can't be told somewhere else, but the fact
it kind of has been told. That was
different strokes. Exactly. As I said it, I was like, okay, that. So like, again, that story can be done where you have a white man taking in black kids, but just the thought of it was black before, and now you're going to give me a reboot and you race swap this character. Like you said, black people, they talking about these white tears. All right. So that means it's okay when white folks be like, no. Black tears. Yeah, we got white granddad. Yeah, he got them niggas out the hood. Yeah, they're just like, hey.
Exactly.
Y'all made this bed.
Exactly.
Black fisted the air people. But anyway, we ain't even finished this Lightyear.
Disney Pixar.
We can help you. To infinity
and
beyond. Boom.
Disney and Pixar's Lightyear. Rated PG. Only in theaters June 17th.
Absolutely not.
And look, she starts it. She says to infinity, and he says and beyond.
I think the problem is the fact that it's his phrase, but we didn't hear him say it first, and then her remind him, "Hey, it's still to infinity beyond," because that's they would do that in movies. The character would have his catchphrase, and then the instant thing he would lose himself, he would need a little bit of help. But then the character at the end would be, "Hey, we could do this all the time," and then you fade to black.
That'd be perfect if that was the end and we saw their journey together though as teammates. But even then, I wouldn't want to see Buzz and some black chick. I want to see fucking aliens. I want you to open up the world. I want to know the Space Ranger life. I want to see them fighting aliens on a regular fucking basis. Like I was telling you about that weird cat. Why do you give me an AI of a domestic cat? Because honestly, the fact that it's based off of an actual creature is limited in its utilization.
Yep.
So especially when I'm seeing the cat's arms like do this, like they stiff as fuck. Whereas if you would have gave me like an R2D2, come on now, Disney, you own all of this shit. The ideas are fucking there. The dude even said that he loves Star Wars. Toy Story. This Lightyear is the Star Wars of Toy Story, the Pixar, that universe or whatever. Give us the fucking Lightyear's R2D2. Give me the little robot character. Or he finds a fucking little alien. We talked about this. We ain't go about it. He finds a little fucking alien creature on one of these planets that this black chick on the team, and the other team members find. Maybe we go out there, and if the dude want to say that this story came before that cartoon, well, we should see hints of these characters in this movie to show we're not giving you that story. This came before, but we're acknowledging it. We're setting up for that Lightyear universe, that Star Wars universe that we want to compare it to give you an idea of how grand it is.
Yeah, and that would be like that. Part of the issue would be like, he comes back to Earth, and you're like, he's a hero, he's a parade, and then you have two executives like, kids love him, huh? yeah, we should make an action figure of him. Yeah, let's do that. And then boom, you got your recognition of Andy's going to wind up getting Buzz.
Right.
You're telling a separate story, but saying you're trying to connect it, but there's nothing to connect it.
And it wasn't a movie that Andy was watching. Dude said that this is the TV show that he would watch. So there's multiple episodes. So there's world building of Buzz Lightyear within Andy's world of it. So he has an idea of that character, and he knows adventures that he's been on. Okay? That's why like it's merchandising. He had like fucking cereal, and like you see him in the fucking in Piece of Planet and shit. Like there was a whole love for Buzz Lightyear in that world. So again, bro, in this movie, I would love to have seen, and then you could have got your diversity. Like I said in my video, you could have had black voices for these characters. We could have seen them like find kind of like a Thanos and Gamora. We could have seen fucking Nebula, that's the blue girl. Like we maybe could have seen her involvement in some planet. You know what I'm saying? Like and see like some politics thrown in there, or just some better story to show like, hey, we pulling in these members of Star Command. We building this universe of Star Command. You handle this shit right, you get people's hyped up for the fucking Woody's Roundup movie that you come out with.
Exactly.
And we get to see the world, and you milk it. We giving Disney the fucking keys to success. You milk it. Buzz Lightyear 1, we show elements of the characters. Buzz Lightyear 2, we see him with the team, and then maybe we see the girl come in because we've seen more politics, and now we get to see them go off-world and involve themselves. Movie 3, we see them fight Zurg.
Our intellectual property, Disney.
We see them fight Zurg, bro. Woody's Roundup. They already established what they needed. It's a fucking show. Okay, he has Jessie, who's his second in command, but she running shit. He has Bullseye. He has his fucking steed that he rides. It'll be dope if Buzz Lightyear had his ship and he's like treated like Star Wars, how Han Solo loved the Millennium Falcon. Buzz Lightyear like, hold on, this is my ship. It's my baby. Don't be fucking up my baby. That'll be cold, bro. That'll be cold.
It would be.
Bro, missed opportunities, man.
Exactly. And we're full circle now, guys. Missed opportunities.
Yeah. All right. You got something to say before I go to the Lion King thing?
No, man. I'm ready to get to the Lion King thing. Go on.
All right. How much longer are you trying to go, man?
I think we can end it off after we talk about Lion King, because that's its own discussion. You know what I mean?
Okay. And you kind of brought it up. So this Lion King thing, again, people, we talking about Disney missed opportunities. So I'm sure y'all know that there was a remake of The Lion King that came out, I think 2019. I pushed it out of my head, okay, completely, because it was trash, but I kind of had to revisit it and just kind of make some inferences based off of some things that I've seen. The point that I'm trying to make is, in order to pander to black people, they made this new Lion King movie. Just insert black star here, black voice. Insert black star voice here. Insert black voice here. And the only white characters was Zazu, who was the fucking servant, okay? The snitch. And then you had Timon and Pumbaa, who were the best friends that got Simba off of his path of his monarchy or whatever. So they took him off his game. So the three characters that you could say people don't like or took Simba away from his destiny, his story, were white. Everybody else that was great and revered even was black. Even the hyenas, black. Okay? In this black-washed movie that everybody already knew was a black story, okay? From Circle of Life and seeing fucking Africa and hearing the song, we was like, this is for black folks. Everybody was like, this is just a great movie. I'm not saying they made it with black folks in mind. They made a great movie to make a great movie. But black people took that on as our culture. James L. Jones, again, being the patriarch, the head of that movie, we took it on as this is our shit. Scar, even though he was voiced by Jeremy Irons, he had that dark skin, and I was like, okay, that's the nigga. And Mufasa and his family, these are the people that made it out the hood, and they brought their niggerish uncle along, but he just can't do right. He can't do right. So I took Simba as the light-skinned nigga. All right, it's a shame that this black-washed movie lost all the soul that these white people have fucking mustered up, and James Earl Jones have mustered up in the original Lion King movie. They sacrificed talent in order to pander or to say, look, blacks, this one really is for y'all this time. Come watch this movie. You want me to keep going, or do you want to jump in here?
No. You had all the points, so keep going. Cause I know
all right. So that movie being a shell of its former self, but capitalizing off the success of the original, you wouldn't know, love, and enjoy this Lion King 2019 if it didn't show you or nod to everything that was in the beginning. Just because they do it don't mean they do it well. Execution is a big key. Yeah. All right. That movie was terrible. I'm making the comparison. Disney as we knew it when it was magic and when we were growing up, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The 90s and before. Disney was young Simba. Okay. All right. And it was in I Just Can't Wait to Be King. Disney he had his plan. I wanted to make a magical world that everybody would love and they can feel joy, wonderful experiences. You know what I'm saying? Take people out the bad things that happen, or even know that if bad things happen, there's still some magic in the world. Let's keep it going. People pushed Disney to where it is now, to the level that it is now, the power and the status. That is Simba being lifted up by the residents or the
animal kingdom.
The animal kingdom. Okay, we got to see other animals not just be animals in this movie, but actually be his citizens of his kingdom and show their love and respect for him. That's what we did for Disney when it was that. Now Disney is Scar, and be prepared when he exalted himself up over the hyenas and used the hyenas to push his agenda to take over the kingdom. Disney is now exalting itself, capitalizing off the name, which Scar did because he was to it. They're saying now we are here. If you have issues with what we're doing, there's something wrong with you. You are the problem. You need to change. We are Disney. We are great. We are not wrong.
And Pride Rock suffered.
And it suffered. And Disney is currently suffering, but it don't know why. Scar was oblivious. His own people. You see people who was shilling for this shit. Now like, okay, what's going on? What's happening? People are waking up. Think of Bonsai when he went into there. Hey, Scar, we got a bone to pick with you. That's what this community should be saying. These marginalized communities, the gays, all right, LGBT, all right, they should be and black folks, since they want to pander to us, you know, with the taking the gay shit out of the movies so that they can be sold in other places. Covering up Black Panther's face, Chadwick Boseman's face on the Black Panther poster to go to China. All right, shit like that. We should be saying, hey, we got a bone to pick with you. And what did Scar do? He was like, look, man, it ain't my responsibility. It's not up to me, consumers, to change. I'm not the one being racist here by using Moses Ingram's skin color in Kenobi to shield for my show or to block criticism. It's not me. It's somebody else's job to fix themselves so that things can continue on in ignorant bliss. All right. And yeah, bro. I guess to make the comparison further, I'm trying to think of what happened. Scar was like, eat Zazu. So there go Disney saying, here's another one. Eat this. Consume this. Does this fix your problem? No? All right, well, try this next one. Did we get it right here? No, Disney. All right, well, here's another one.
Exactly. Yeah, we've gone full circle.
All right, you got. I know you brought up the Pinocchio thing. My issue was fucking Lion King. We said when they come out with the live action Princess and the Frog, they're just gonna be blackity black. New Orleans down here in New Orleans.
You know New Orleans is gonna be on fire for having a show to pick them.
They're gonna film.
They're gonna film it in the French Quarter. There's gonna be second lining. It's gonna be a whole thing. I mean,
I want to see titties in the background. I want to see Mardi Gras. I want to see them stepping over crackheads and shit like that.
Turn to Old Bourbon Street.
Yeah, I want to see the realness, the rawness, the authenticity. The
Have
truth.
Have you been in New Orleans before?
Nah. This is what I hear. This is what I see.
Man, I have never been to a place where I was just like, I got tired of drinking when I got there.
Yeah.
It's just like, I was like, oh my God. Like, it's like, hey, what you want to drink? I was like, it's 7 a.m. I know, we can go get on the menu. I'm like, oh no, I can't.
Nah, I'm not a big
like,
drinker.
It's fun to go and experience. It's just, I would have a hard time living there. That's all.
Yeah.
But yeah, one day, I have to take you there one day. Because I got a friend that lives out there. So one day I have to take you out there.
We'll go, man. We here. We closer, I think, than where I was.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
But yeah, man, we can do that. You got any more thoughts, man? We trying to end this?
No. I think we went really hard today, especially for how long we went. So I'm cool. I'm cool with leaving it here. You know, we could probably address some things that are happening in Congress at a later date once we figure out what the end result of it is. But you know, I have more, and we'll talk about that. I like the fact that we kept it comics and some entertainment today. So
yeah, man, some entertainment. So the point of this was missed opportunities. Disney has bought a lot of properties that have lore and great storytelling and stories that are near and dear to people's hearts. Marvel and Lucasfilm, for instance. And they're handling them the way that they're handling their own shit with these remakes and whatever. They don't give a fuck about what came before. It's only about the narrative, the agenda that they can push now. All the great storytelling, the giants that Disney is standing on the back of, on the shoulders of right now, while also taking a dump up there on the shoulders. When we say, well, what about all this great shit that came before? Disney says,
it doesn't matter. It's in the past.
and they laugh at you as you consume more. You pigs from Spirited Away. So that's all I got for you, people.
All right. Again, this is episode 9 of Heroes. No Case. We're signing off.
All right. Peace.